In this Living for Yahuah and Yahusha episode, we will be looking into the parable of sheep and goats, where Yahusha teaches us the importance of good works. The story is part of the Olivet Discourse, Yahusha's teaching on the Mount of Olives, which precedes his crucifixion. The parable starts in Matthew 25 verses 31 to 33, and it reads,
"When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right, and the goats on his left."
Yahusha begins by saying it concerns his return in glory to set up his kingdom. Then he sorts all people into two groups, sheep or goats. Goats are typically self-reliant animals. They are independent and do not respond well to shepherding. In contrast, sheep are gentle, they stick together, and they rely on their shepherd. And as we know, Yahusha often spoke of himself as the shepherd and his followers as his sheep. Let's keep reading verses 34 to 46.
"Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me.' Then the righteous will answer him, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in? Or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?' The king will reply, 'Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.' Then he will say to those on his left, 'Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison and you did not look after me.' They also will answer, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger or needing clothes or sick or in prison, and did not help you?' He will reply, 'Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me.' Then they will go away to eternal punishment, but the righteous to eternal life."
Yahusha then praises the sheep and condemns the goats. The sheep on the right are blessed and given an inheritance because they fed the hungry and thirsty, gave clothes to those in need, and looked after the sick and in prison. In contrast, the goats on the left are cursed with eternal punishment because they had opportunity to do good works, but they did nothing. When Yahusha was asked, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or sick or in prison, and did not help you?" he replied, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me." Failing to do what we call corporal works of mercy, like feeding the hungry, clothing the needy, taking care of the sick, inviting the stranger, and other similar works, is a sin of omission that is equated to the other deadly sins that results in eternal punishment. In the parable, Yahusha strongly encourages us to take action. When you fail to love your neighbor, you also fail to love him. Living for Yahuah and Yahusha means we must actively be involved in helping people in need, treating everyone with kindness, loving unconditionally, serving them as if we're serving Christ himself. On Yahusha's return, may he view all of us as his sheep, counted as righteous to receive eternal life.